Blackmagic just shared some exciting news about their new products, but most importantly, they introduced 2 brand new cinema cameras. We'll explore what's new about them, how much they cost, and whether they have been worth the wait. There is not much more exciting things that happen inside the camera world than a brand new Blackmagic cinema camera. And today we just got 2. So where do these cameras sit in Blackmagic's current lineup? Let's start with the brand new Ursa Cine. This sits at the very top of Blackmagic's lineup. This is the most expensive camera Blackmagic have ever released, but we'll dig more into pricing and features in a moment. And the second camera, which I am personally much more excited about, is the brand new Blackmagic Pyxis. That's right, the wait is finally over. We have the Blackmagic box camera that we can rig to our heart's content. And it is everything we could have hoped for. Well, almost everything. Right before we dive in, I want to let you know that I am giving away my own Crane 3S gimbal. It's been sitting on my shelf for way too long, unloved and not getting used, so I want to give it away to someone who watches my videos to say thank you. Make sure to stay to the very end of this video for a chance of winning that. Let's not waste any more time, hit the subscribe button and let's dive into features and pricing. So let's take a look at the first camera, which is the Ursa Cine. This is going to get quite confusing as Blackmagic's current camera is called the Ursa Mini. Mini and Cine, they sound way too similar to me. But let's dive into some specs and find out what this beast can do. The first thing that jumps out at you with this camera is just the sheer size of it. It looks pretty similar to the Ursa Mini, but I think it is larger in some dimensions. I think it may be a bit longer and squarer on the edges. And anyone who's used an Ursa Mini before knows that that is no small camera to begin with. The star of the show here though is a 12K full frame sensor. Now, it was pretty impressive with the last Ursa when they introduced the 12K Super 35mm sensor, but now it's full frame. Don't get this confused, this is not the same sensor that is in the current Ursa Mini 12K. This is a full frame one, which means that even though it's the same resolution, there is much more improvements. It boasts have the same cool downsampling features as the current 12K Ursa Mini, which allows you to shoot in, say, 8K without cropping in on the sensor, with no discernible loss in quality, according to Blackmagic. Now, Grant did say in the live stream that this is their own answer to just throwing everything they can at a camera, and you can really see that. This thing has a screen on pretty much every panel you can fit one. This camera also allows open gate capture in full frame, B-roll, which is just going to be incredible. They've learned from mistakes in the past, and this ships with a built-in optical low-pass filter. It comes with built-in ND filters that Blackmagic claim are colour balanced across all the different stops. Something else that is just incredible about the specs of this Ursa Cine are the frame rates. This thing can shoot 120 frames per second in 12K and 224 frames per second in 8K. Now, for a full frame sensor readout, this is quite incredible. And this also maybe leads us to believe that it's going to have really good rolling shutter, as to achieve them kind of frame rates, your sensor must be reading out incredibly fast, even at those high resolutions. Now, to get around those incredible file sizes you're going to get with the high frame rates and high resolutions, Blackmagic have introduced some sort of proprietary media. These are like mini hard drives. I'm guessing there is like M.2 SSDs inside these. The jury is still out for me on these, as they seem pretty expensive and you need these kind of docks to dock them into. And to make things even worse here, I do not think there is any like normal card slots anywhere on the camera. This thing also boasts an incredible 16 stops of dynamic range. Now, the thing here is Blackmagic are normally pretty honest about those dynamic range figures, unlike some of the other brands who may like exaggerate them. So when Blackmagic says 16 stops, you'd expect it to be pretty darn amazing. As Blackmagic said, it was them throwing everything they could at a camera, so it is probably aimed at like actual Hollywood movies. Maybe that is an area they want to go and compete with the likes of Arri and Sony and get those kind of Netflix, Amazon productions. So for that world, I hope it absolutely smashes it and does amazing for Blackmagic. Before I get on to the star of the show from today's announcement for me, I just want to mention that Blackmagic have brought out a new EVF. Now, I am someone who used the old Blackmagic EVF across hundreds and hundreds of shoots, and it is probably the best EVF I've ever used. So I can only imagine that this new one is even better. It looks incredible. It looks like they've taken some inspiration from Zacuto on the design, making it smaller and more riggable to 50mm rods. It looks like it powers through USB-C, and also looks like it receives its video signal through USB-C. I think this may be one of the best options for an EVF on the market at the moment. So let's talk about the Blackmagic Pyxis. This thing looks amazing. Now, the sensor inside of this new Blackmagic camera is the exact same one out of the current Blackmagic Cinema camera 6K full frame. And anyone who watches this channel knows how much I love the image out of that camera. I've said across multiple occasions that is the absolute best image you can get for under $3,000. And everyone knows that a box style Blackmagic camera has been a big request from user feedback for many years now. Not everyone wanted it. Some people like the current style of pocket Blackmagic cameras. With the way Blackmagic have designed this new Pyxis, I think this is going to be a much more successful camera. Blackmagic say in multiple different places that this is designed to be customized, rigged out and built to whatever your shooting style is. They've obviously taken some major inspiration here from the Komodo from Red, which is definitely a good thing. It comes in 3 different lens mounts. It comes in an L mount, a locking EF mount and a PL mount. I can't see the information anywhere, but I would love to know if these are interchangeable by users. It looks like there are 4 screws around the mount and sensor, so maybe you can purchase the PL one and the L mount one, so you didn't have to use an adapter and you could just unscrew those 4 screws and replace it yourself. The touchscreen and display on this camera is mounted on the side. This allows for a top handle to be mounted directly on top. You are pretty much going to need an EVF or external monitor to use this camera. Now, this is one of the downsides of buying a camera that is riggable and is a box style camera. One of the benefits of Blackmagic's Pocket series was out the box you could put a battery in, put a lens on and you were pretty much good to go. They've also still managed to squeeze loads of function buttons around that display on the side. It looks like there's a wheel for your iris. Fortunately, this is not a wheel for built-in NDs though. Although this does come with an optical low-pass filter, which is fantastic, it would have been almost too good to be true if this thing had built-in NDs. Something that is amazing and positive though is it is no longer HDMI, it is a full-size 12G SDI output. Now this for rigging is just a game changer. Anybody who's owned a camera with SDI and owned a camera with HDMI, you will know how much easier, better and how less often cables break when you are using external monitors with SDI cables. When it comes to frame rates and resolutions, it is identical to the current Blackmagic Cinema camera 6K full frame. I think this is the same internals as the current 6K full frame, but it's just redesigned in a new body. We're not done yet though, because this thing just keeps on getting better. We now have 2 CF Express Type B card slots instead of the 1. And also they have got rid of the MPF style batteries and in our BPU style. This is an amazing addition as one singular BPU battery can run you for 3 hours. The new Pyxis is also compatible with the new EVF from Blackmagic, and you can see it in all those press images that they're combining the two. It uses the same kind of 1 cable USB-C to power and send video, what can keep your rigging really clean. It also has 1, I think, mini XLR input, if that's something that you wanted to rig out and maybe get a shotgun mic on there. Another cool design element on the body of the camera is on the opposing side to where the display and function buttons are, they have things called side plates. Now these are like accessory plates that Blackmagic themselves sell, and I'm sure you're gonna see all the rigging companies and even people may be able to 3D print these, and they basically just allow different styles of shooting. And all this is packaged off with Blackmagic's incredible menus, their camera to cloud technology. You get a copy of DaVinci Resolve when you purchase it. And the best thing of all is Blackmagic have managed to keep the price under $3,000. Now, you can never judge a camera by the specs on the screen, but if this thing does have the same image quality as the full frame 6K and this body design is as good as it looks in the images, the battery life's better, then this may be just one of the cheapest, best value cinema cameras ever made to date. Let me know below if I have missed anything to do with these cameras, good or bad, because I cannot wait to get my hands on them and do a proper review. As I said in the intro to this video, I am giving away my Crane 3S gimbal. All you have to do to enter is subscribe to my newsletter, where the link is in the description of this video. It is totally free. I send out one or less even emails per month, just giving out advice to filmmakers that I think maybe not quite right for a video, but I still think it's important to learn anyways. And if you want to see how good the image quality is from the new Blackmagic Pyxis camera, watch this video right here.